want to finish them by the 1st of October. You know, this is a little ambitious, but I'm just, you know, I'm throwing that out into the universe and seeing if it's gonna work. So 2 of the books that I'm reading are for school, and 2 of them are for, wait a minute. Okay, let's be real right now. 3 of them are for pleasure and 1 of them is for school. I never have more than 2 books going at a time. This was thrown on me at the last minute. And I also thought that one of these books I would be able to get through really quickly, and I was wrong. So the first book that I want to finish is the full collection of Persepolis. I watched the movie and I thought it was just excellent, and I really wanted to read the book. So when I found it at my library, I'm like, well, duh, I have to read it right now. I have 2 midterms. I have 2 midterms this week. I should also say it is the 24th, so I have a week, just under a week, to finish these books. I'm throwing it all out of organization. I'm so sorry. The next book this one I'm hesitant. This one I'm like, I don't even know if I have the strength, but it is Needful Things by Stephen King. I really want to finish this. If I don't, I'm not going to beat myself up about it, because it's not that serious to finish it within the month. I am only 50 pages into the 760-page book, but I was recommended this by my boyfriend's mom, Vivian. Vivian, I don't think you're watching, but I went into her recommendation naive when she said it was a Stephen King book, and I was looking for something spooky for Halloween. I was like, maybe it would be like the length of Carrie. We're feeling Carrie. Wrong. Vivian, I am in school. I really want to read this because Stephen King always has a way of making me fall in love with reading again, and with all of the schoolwork that I'm currently doing, I need a damn break. Just today I picked up the audiobook. It came in from my library for Real Life by Brandon Taylor, and it has such like smashing good reviews, and when it came in from my library, I'm like, well, I have to. I might as well have an audiobook going at the same time. Why I thought this, I don't know. I think I have my own, like, they call it, like, girl math, but it's for books in my head. I'm like, well, yeah, I need an audiobook. I have a graphic novel. I have a novel. I have an audiobook. And I have a book for school. And that book for school, I didn't realize that my Women in Lit class, this book, the works of Gorful McCain. It's not good if I don't even know how to say her name yet. I need to read this entire book by Tuesday. Tuesday is the 1st of October. So if I read it the night before, read it before the 30th. And I know this book looks really small, and it is really small. It's just that this is Old English, and I'm pretty sure she's gonna be using some words. Wait a damn minute. I was flipping through and I came to an interesting passage. Poem to the Vagina. I may start with this one. I have my work cut out for me. Real Life is a 9-hour audiobook, which isn't terrible. This is the problem child of the week. That's what I'm worried about. But in physical TBR, this is how it's looking. Oh my god. Okay, so it is 10 o'clock on the 24th. I am going to get reading on one of these. I honestly think I could probably kick out like another 100 pages of Persepolis tonight. Usually with graphic novels, I'm able to get a lot more done. But this woman is packing the words. Whoa, she's packing words on these pages. I've never read a graphic novel where they had more to say. But I mean, it's fair. It's literally like trying to explain a war. There's going to be a lot more to unpack and a lot more to explain, and that's why she has so many words on the page. It took me longer to read 112 pages, which that's the page I'm on, than it typically would if I was reading another graphic novel. So I wasn't anticipating it taking this long, but I'm enjoying it so much and think it's such an important and eye-opening read that I don't mind that it's taking a little more time. Now, I would enjoy it even more if it took less time, only for the fact that Stephen King is staring back at me. Alright, I will keep you updated in the 6 days that I plan to do this. I might have to do like a full reading challenge in the middle of this to get this done. Hello, welcome back to my desk. I've made some progress. I just finished over lunch/breakfast this morning. One, it's the 28th. I haven't filmed in 2 days because I had a midterm yesterday and I was tweaking, trying to study for it in time. I did finish the works of Gorfel McCain over breakfast, lunch this morning. Can I just tell you, okay, so this is a medieval female poet, and why I say female poet is because we don't have a lot of work that has survived the medieval times by women, and so it's kind of a big deal that we have so many poems by McCain that are still here and still can be decoded and translated. First of all, horny. I was gonna read some of the poems on here and then I realized that I would probably have the video taken down on YouTube if I were to repeat the things that this woman said. It's surprising how modern it sounds, and a lot of people at the time, of course, didn't like her work and didn't appreciate her work because it was about the female body and sexuality, and she talks about penises a lot. Gorfel was called a whore by some critics. Like, even in 1933, there was a guy who did his thesis on her, and then in his book about medieval poets, he was like, yeah, she's a whore, like, we can't have women like this today, but it was medieval times. And I'm like, oh my god, she is actually a really talented poet and I really enjoyed her work. There's this one called Christ's Passion, which was probably her most popular work that I don't want to say she put more effort into, but you can tell that she's really connected with this really serious topic. So it's interesting that she's both religious and writes a lot of erotica, because she kind of sees like you can be religious and be sexual at the same time. I thought that was interesting. She will be just writing about her vagina, like, fully, or like what it feels like to take a shit, and then she'll just drop like the grave poem on you like nothing, like it's like nothing happened. And I just started crying, like, like, why would you say that? I have made some progress in Persepolis, not a lot. Like I said, I was studying a lot, but I'm on page 202. So I have about 160 pages left of this. And then, of course, you know, we've made no progress with Needful Things. I don't think this is gonna get read by October 1st, if I'm being so extra real with you. I would like to maybe finish Persepolis today, and then what is that book called? Real Life by Brennan Taylor that I'm reading right now. I'm about 40% through that book. It's going really well. There's one part of the book where I was sitting in my apartment and he alluded to something that happened to him as a child, and I don't want to be dramatic, but I did make this face. Anyway, I will update when I have more to update on. I feel like I should have just gotten rid of the video when I didn't film for 2 days. But I'm here now. I'm here now and I'm talking about books. You're welcome. Also, do you see my little dinosaur? Look. Okay, bye. You need to understand that there is very little room or space in my dorm for me to film videos, and I don't feel comfortable filming outside in public with everyone staring at me. So you're gonna be seeing a lot of this desk. I just wanted to update. I finished Persepolis. Just 5 stars. Like, let me just start with that one. It is an easy 5 stars. Basically, this is an autobiographical novel about a woman who grew up in Iran, was sent to Austria when things were going very poorly in Iran with bombings and just constant war. women having no rights and the most absurd laws against them so that they couldn't get out of the oppression that they were put under by the government. It talks about the rebellions happening and how her parents just really wanted her to have an education and wanted her to be free. So they sent her to Austria, but that created problems with her identity, feeling like she was Iran in Austria and feeling like she was to Austria and when she went back to Iran, and it really is, it's just heartbreaking. She's also, but like, it's heartbreaking, but she is so funny. She tells such funny stories, and it's kind of like the light in the dark that is the hope that people have to hold on to when they're in such dire situations. And unfortunately, she does go into such topics as suicide and depression. So if that's triggering for you, please be known that this book does talk about it. And it's just heartbreaking what some people have to go through in their lives because of unjust governments and systems that work to oppress people just trying to be free and have free will. I'm not going to cry over this book because that's cringe. It's not cringe to be emotional. It's cringe if I just cry on camera because that's not cute. I have 2 of the 4 books I wanted to finish done. It is the 29th, so I only have 1 more day, and then like I said before, I have a midterm on the 1st, so I don't know how much reading I'm gonna get done. So anyway, yeah, I'll update if I finish Real Life. But there's no way. There's actually no way I'm gonna finish Needful Things. You know what? It'll be an October read. I'm not truly mad about that because it's still like a spooky book for October. I can cope. I don't know if these are going to be like a weekly vlog thing. The thing is I don't really think anyone cares about what I think about books. It's just like a thing for me that if I can talk to like even one person about books, that would be like really beneficial, I think, for my brain. But if you're my family and you're like, wow, this is really boring, I don't want to listen to or talk about this, leave. I won't be offended. I won't be hurt. Okay, maybe I'll be a little hurt that you think I'm boring, but I'll get over it. You don't need to tell me. So today the goal is to maybe finish Real Life. Maybe not today, but before the 1st of October. I finished looking through the chapters for these, which is The Savages of America. Plot twist, it's super fucking racist. I'm happy that I found a book from the colonizer's point of view, because that helps in my argument that they're stupid and entitled and self-obsessed. And then this one is The Myth of the Savage, which is a little more on the indigenous point of view, and still not from an indigenous writer, I don't think. Like, the author I don't think is indigenous. But it has a lot more empathy for the indigenous people, and talking about how missionaries went over in the way that they thought about the indigenous people, and that they were doing them some kind of service, that they were renewing a civilization in a place that was uncivilized, and that basically that indigenous people and indigenous culture was the antithesis of, you know, what is good and what is right and what is God's will, whatever that is. It's quite disturbing. It's disturbing to read about, but it's really important for my paper, so I had to fight for my life struggling to get some quotes from this. But I did. I got lots of quotes from both of them. So I finished those. I'm going to take that back to the library. I'm going to take Persepolis back to the library, and then probably do some studying for my criminal psychology midterm today once I get to the library, because I find that if I'm in my room, I can't focus. When I'm in the library, I can be like, okay, I can't leave until I do my work. This is going to be my last update because today is October 1st, so it's Halloween. It's Halloween now. We're on September 30th, so yesterday. I'm tweaking right now. I had a midterm this morning and I probably fucked it. I had, how do I say, panic attack in the exam room. So I may not have been to the highest of my achievements. Anyway, I finished Brandon Taylor's, I am blanking, Real Life. I finished Brandon Taylor's Real Life audiobook yesterday, and I really think I should read it physically. I don't think it was a book I was supposed to listen to on audio, because I was catching like little English major things being like, oh, he put a thing there to represent this. Oh, he's saying this thing to mean this thing. And then like the thing with the anyway, in this kind of reading vlog, kind of frantic during my midterm reading vlog, I finished 3 out of the 4 books that I want to read. I read the McCain book, I read Real Life by Brandon Taylor, and I read, what was the other one? I'm blanking. Oh, Persepolis. Loved Persepolis. Easy 5 stars. Real Life, 4.5 until I read it physically. I would say that's a fair rating, because what the author was doing was talking about very hard topics, being Black in STEM and being kind of mentally ill and traumatized, trying to go through academia and going through relationships. And can I just say, none of these friends liked each other. Not one of these characters liked another one of the characters. It was shocking to me that these people still associated with each other, because they were just constantly fighting. I don't think they were actually friends. Half the time I was just going, don't hang out with them. I don't know if I'm crazy, but if you don't enjoy someone's presence and they don't make you feel good, don't hang out with them. Maybe that's just a me thing. The book was interesting enough so that when I was getting really irritable with all the characters, I could push through. And I think it was also one of those books that's kind of like a character study, where you're looking at these people from the outside who are morally gray. You don't want to defend them because you're like, that's a fucked up thing that you did, but you're also kind of in their head, so you can be like, okay, I understand why you did that, but it's still fucked up. I like those books, but I understand if this book is not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I will give some trigger warnings. It's like a little bit of a spoiler, so just like skip ahead a little bit. There is a child who gets molested, and there is not a lot of description, but it is on page that it happens. There's also a lot of victim blaming because of that, and there is also a scene in which consent is not given before things escalate. So be aware that all of that happens on page, and it's quite disturbing and can be distressing. If any of those things bother you, please don't pick up this book, or just be weary of it if you're picking it up. Finish this vlog. I really enjoyed making a video again, and I think that I'm gonna be doing like a maybe spooky reading vlog during October, like every other person who posts about books on here. But I have so many good horror books on my Kindle that I am just itching to get to, and I just need to conquer. The crows are having a rave. I need to conquer Needful Things by Stephen King before I can get there. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hate this, but I gotta say it. Like, subscribe. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do this. I just don't want to be alone in the universe and the ether. Anyway, goodbye. I'm gonna go to my Women in Lit class soon, and I don't know, talk to my boyfriend. It doesn't matter. Okay, bye.